Warm welcome to everybody. Not often do you come across a man who needs little introduction, yet has a very interesting story to offer. Mr. Anil Agarwal is one of them. He grew up in the city of Bihar in Patna, in absolutely humble surroundings. At the mere age of 19, he moved to the city of dreams, Mumbai, with a simple tiffin box in his hands and a head full of dreams. He worked on 9 ventures, all of them failed, until in 1976, he founded Vedanta Resources, now known as the Vedanta Group. And since then, there has been no looking back. This is the man behind the growth and development, as well as diversification of Vedanta Group. But what we are here today to do is not delve into the typical conversations, speak to him a little more about his personal demeanor, his personal journey, his relationship with spirituality and business, and to understand from him where he sees India moving towards in the next 25 years. Please put your hands together as we warmly welcome Mr. Anil Agarwal, Chairman and Founder of Vedanta Group.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you for your time today, sir. We're indeed in debt for you giving us your time. Let's start with a question that Navnidhi has already sort of given a hint towards, is that you started working at the age of 19 when you joined your father's business, right? Now we're sitting in a business school today where a lot of us are way over 19 and have absolutely no clue what to do. So, and you took that risk at a very young age. So is that something that you'd recommend us to do as well? Take those risks, join family businesses or generally open businesses at a young age?
Thank you, first of all, to the Cambridge and Jaideep and to both of you to inviting me. And on the weekdays, all of you coming in is for me, is a pleasure to be here. This is the place, Cambridge, which it is like a place, they grow leaders. You know, like we cultivate leaders, whether in the science, whether it's a business, politics. People have come, or all the top politicians who built India came from here. So to be here is an honor. I have one experience when I came first to Cambridge was my daughter. She was about 11 years old and she wanted to do short course in Cambridge. She got the admission and she was so nervous and she didn't want to come. I somehow just make her agree to come on the condition that I'll be here for 3-4 days. And I put her into the room, nice room they're given. And she said, "Dad, what time you're coming?" And I said, "You tell me." She said, "No, don't go." I said, "Just go, you settle down and I'll come back." It was about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. I came back about 4 o'clock. That's what we agreed. And I didn't find her in her room. And I started looking at, and then I found she's in the field with all the friends. They're playing football, the girls playing football with everybody. And she came running to me. I said, "You go away, go away." I said, "What?" "No, my friends will think, no, you're hanging with your father. So you just go away." And this is what Cambridge is. So what a great experience. In the evening, when I walk on the street, I saw a lovely pub. People have amazing energy on the street, because I was planned for 3 days. I said, let me spend the evening here. And I've seen various universities. It has what a positive vibe for sure. So congratulations, all of you, to be part of this beautiful, phenomenal institution. So, about me, people like you should mentor us. Because I'm always, some of the youngsters I hear, they really mentor me, because they are the one whose minds, even my 8 years old granddaughter, I learned from her. I don't know how it comes, but they have a different mind, they're fertile mind. In our time, only thing which we used to do is to speak lie. Because we are so pressurized with our parents. And today, all of you are so honest. This is the today's culture. So you are in the, for me, I definitely have a lot of changes. I was a lot of inferiority complex when I was growing up. I was obese, and I never seen my mother used to get 400 rupees, which is hardly anything, to take care of 4 children. But she given so much of love and affection. But always dream is always was part of it. And my father had a steel shop, so initially I used to sit behind, and he used to drive. By the time my 14, 15, I pushed him to sit behind, and I started driving the scooter. So I can feel it. I can and come from Bihar. I'm very proud Bihari. There's a 14 crore people. It's a big population, and Bihar is amazing. Where Chandragupta Maurya to Ashoka to Chanakya to Guru Gobind Sahib to Sita Ji to anything, all have come from Bihar. And our Buddha, our Mahavir, they all come from Bihar. But nowhere in the world I can see one place where some personality has been born. So for me, that is a very humble background. Was always look at the chance. So one thing I really envy all of you, I was telling them, never had a chance to study. पढ़ाई में मन ही नहीं लगता था. I always wanted to do something else, and so never sat in the plane till the age of 19. So 14, he started working with the father, and he says, तुम्हारी शादी नहीं करेंगे जब तक तुम graduate नहीं होगे. That is not possible. So we have gone through this, petty things. I always say that I never shake hand with a girl till the time I came to Bombay. Either my sister or my cousin or my bhua or my mother. Apart from that, the culture was not there. For us, so got a chance. Somebody came from Bombay, and he says, why don't you come? And immediately I took a train. And when I came out of the VT station, I just couldn't believe what I saw in the movie. It is there. I see the same VT station. I never seen double-decker bus in my life. I never seen so beautiful people around. So that was my dream. And I had a bedding, and I have that time there used to be steel trunk, and took 3 days for me to reach to Bombay. And I thought I'll work for somebody, but I had a broker whose name was Basniwal, so Kalwa Devi. We had a 7-bed place near Cotton Exchange. So charged me 21 rupees for meal, and put the box inside. And went to start working with him, collect the scrap, working, learning whole day. I never seen the whole night. The city was life. Where I was in the night, you can have pav bhaji, you can have the whole city run 24 hours. Bombay, there is no place like Bombay in the world. So this is what the background is, and everybody knows what my story is. I can repeat. Very ambitious, learning. You will not believe, for 1 or 2 years, for at least 10 meetings, I will never let other side know that I don't know English. No, yes, no. I'll get my work done. But very focused, very focused. Buying, selling was in the blood. I can buy this and take the risk. And I always wanted to collect the scrap from the cable company, and always wanted to have a cable company by myself. There was a company which was Shamsher Sterling, and it was gone into liquidation. It took me 2.5, 3 years to work with that, to get that company. I got 60 lakhs, 15 lakhs I had to pay, 5 lakhs I had, 5 lakhs I borrowed from Rasik Bhai, and 5 lakhs one of my uncles. So we put that money, 25%, and it started. So
Rest is history.
Mm.
So you mentioned that, we know you've always been a risk taker. You yourself mentioned that you've taken enough risks. I'm sure there is something that helps you stay rooted, helps you stay grounded, because you take so many risks. For some of us, it's our friends and family. For some of us, it can be spirituality. My sister does a lot of yoga. But I'm curious to know, what is it that keeps you rooted and grounded, given that you take so many risks?
Yeah, what I've learned is risk-taking and governance. They're two different things. One thing I will always tell you, governance don't compromise. That will, that will put you in trouble and make you weak. Risk-taking is all right. But governance, when you fault and you do manipulation or anything, that make you weak. So risk-taking, you have to take risk. Life is so short. There's nothing 100%. Unless you are 60%, there was a time I used to wake up whole night, idea. What idea has come? And I was looking forward to meet my people and tell them. And I reach and meeting them. What are you talking? It's all rubbish. Today, trust me, I go with the rubbish ideas. And I go with the people, wow, what an idea. A lot of time is as you go, your power, your strength, you have to hold handle. And that handle help you. You hold my mother. My mother is everything. And believe there. There is no question some extra power comes and help you. You need that extra energy, to move forward. We're not saying most important is hard work, taking risk, but if you go to a mosque, hold that mosque. No harm. If you want to go to a temple, you live in Krishna, you hold to Krishna's feet, that you are there, and you have to believe 100%, and that also helps you to be strong, to take a decision. Because when you don't have anything, you are nervous, you are insecure. So these things help.
So what you say about, ideas keeping you up at night is very relatable. And I'm sure that is true for a lot of us over here who are young minds. Another thing that I find very relatable when I read your story is that you came to London not knowing a lot of English, right? Like you said, you answered everything in yes and no and got by. And I come from a community where there's a lot of people who know how to do trade or dhanda. They're very good at buying, selling, taking risks, but not necessarily very good at speaking English. And I note that in India, the dominant language for business is English. Do you think that has ever held you back, or your experiences about that of doing trade or business in India or in the UK with that language barrier?
Sure. There's always when you don't know English, but your determination, determination helps. I'm going to make it, and you smile, the smile, we have a value. We look at in the eyes, we are humble, and that make you way forward. Sometime yes, no, somewhere you keep entering, but definitely there was a hurdle. But Fundamentally, you are right, no? Fundamentally, when you are determined that I have to do, people, what an opportunity you people have. What an opportunity. Especially, you see, the girls has the phenomenal opportunity what we have in India. So our time, we should not be in hurries, take time. Failure after failure, one business close, all right, you have a shock. Then you get up again and you go. That you must have. That's what our value system said, that keep going, because failure, success, this is a part of life. And I used to see Dara Singh Kushti, wrestling. And I used to leave the stadium because wo itna maar khata tha, and I used to say he's going to finish. But that was his khurak, that was his food. Because then he would get up and then he started hitting. And he was a phenomenal wrestler. All of you are like this. Don't worry. What is it? Failure is a part of it. More failure you have, it's not that you have to have failure. You can have a success today, you have all the information, but don't be scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not important that you have to be only entrepreneur or business. I always say that the important thing is that world is like an auditorium. You have people on the auditorium and you have people on the stage. And you follow the people on the stage. And one day you aspire to be on that stage. Have that patience. Have that patience. One day it will come that you will be there. And depression, failure, this all is a part of life. You're obese, you're not looking good, you're inferiority complex. We are not machine. But your determination to move. Next day morning, again, naya suraj ugega, fir bhagenge.
Lovely, sir. So that's all the wisdom that we perhaps need now that we're nearing the end of a lot of our courses. But a little more on Vedanta. So the success of the company has perhaps coincided with the economic liberalization back in the 1990s. And now we're seeing a lot of investments, a lot of FDI in India. At the same time, we're also nearing a sort of deglobalization or decentralization kind of an era. So what do you think is the importance of economic liberalization in the next 25 years for Vedanta and for India at large?
Number one is that we are not talking India. India, we are value people. For us, you must be hearing all this, but we really mean it Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We don't think that India is only place. World is our home. That value we have. So this is what will taking us forward. Now, when we got independence, there was only two industrialists, Tata and Birlas. And it was not enough. And unless India become industrialized, India will not come out of the poverty, not provide the job. So at that time, the government decided to be public sector. Whether you talk steel, you talk fertilizer, you talk about oil, you talk of anything. They created 250 largest company in India. And public sector has made us survive. Other side, they start working on the agriculture. Today, we are self-sufficient. In fact, we are surplus. So both sides, they have worked. But time has gone. We have to realize democratic country, the government does not run the business. So the things are changing. The way India is what is India? India is a place of entrepreneur. India is a place of opportunity. What people used to talk about in US 25, 30 years, 40 years back, that's how they built. But we have plus. What is plus? We have value system. We have a sanskar. With combination of these two, we'll be totally different level. And the what the opportunity is coming is phenomenal. When I see, for me, business making money is important to start with. To start with, you have to make money because you can't survive. But once you make money, you open up. You work for your family, you work for your community, you work for your country, you work for environment, you make this place as a better world. So for me, India, definitely my full experience is, let's look at, I want to have a communication with you that today we import 50% of our natural resources. Whatever earning we have in India, if say $100, 50 goes into the natural resource. What is that natural resource? Oil and gas, gold, copper, fertilizer, uranium. Anything you talk about, we are import-based country. World does not want us to be manufacturing. World want us to be a market. Remain market, remain market. And we become conditioned, imported layer, hamare hai nahi. We don't have. I'm literally a geologist. We have one of the best geology. And today's time, how they produce gold 50 years back and now, we can make a better environment. Better environment when we produce natural resource, oil and gas. There is no, and we have to. No country can survive unless they produce 50% their own energy. And in that, we are also making to make sure we have ethanol, we have a renewable, we have a lot of things are happening. What is the other? Ultimate, what I'm looking at, all of us looking at India to be a developed country. And I want to see why I'm alive. Why I'm alive. And what is the trigger? Well, phenomenal. We have a 1.4 billion people. It is a plus point. Our Prime Minister here has got 5,000 nurses from Kerala in the last 3-4 months. All the doctors being coming. We have a Saskatchewan Premier from the Canada sitting in India. Want to take 50,000 people from India to the Canada. There's such a shortage of people. And he want to give the Canadian passport $50,000 base salary. So this is what India can offer. We have this plus point. So one is a natural resource. Number two is our electronic.
I've also been told that
our electronic is so important, and that fundamental is semiconductor and display glass.
College.
Everything require whether you have a smartphone, whether you have TV, whether you have a laptop, and what world want that India to produce this smartphone, laptop, scooty, all this, but import semiconductor. So there is no question. And most of this innovation which is happening in India, the engine, the leader is outside, but whether Pune, Bangalore, millions of people are working to develop the new invention. So we will have definitely natural resource and semiconductor, electronic. We will create largest, bigger than Silicon Valley, what you have in US. There is no question. It will happen, and it will happen by you people. It will happen. What an opportunity which is coming in. I have always said that the fundamental, how do we eradicate poverty and unemployment? Is it two things, isn't it? Everybody needs a job. And I said, one thing we all should provide, and this government is doing. This government is doing. I'm not criticizing any wrong. I have our party. I'm very fond of what they have done, phenomenal. But anybody who's 15, 16 years old, we think we must do it for him. One is he must get laptop at 30,000, 40,000 rupees. Laptop is a window to the world. And those days has gone when you want to be engineer, you want to be a lawyer, or you want to be a doctor. Today, it has opened up. Societies allow you, if you have you want to do dancing, you want to do artist, you want to do anything else, you want to be a politician, the laptop is a window to the world. You can know, you can reach there, and you can find your livelihood. Number two, smartphone. And laptop must be available at 30, 40,000 rupees with 70% loan, 80% loan. And if you have a smartphone maybe 5,000 rupees. And third is a scooty, electric. Trust me, there'll be no unemployment. They will find their own way. They'll find their own what to do, how to do things. These three things, and this government is, I'm sure everybody, and demand is so high. No matter how much one government has done, there is a gratitude, but that's past. Tell me more. The aspiration is so high. The fellow is on the cycle, want a scooty. Scooty fellow want a scooter. The scooter fellow want a car. He want a washing machine. He want a house. You know, the aspiration is going high and high and high. They don't stop. The government has to have, one is that we'll talk about business and how your livelihood, but the fundamental, India has a potential. And whatever government comes, 5 things they have to do it for them. Right of education. No question. Right of healthcare, medicine. Right of housing. Right of having a cylinder, gas cylinder at 400 rupees. Our ladies will not buy cylinder at 1,700 rupees. Not possible. So aspiration is roof. It's a right to government to provide roof and tap water. So these are the 4 or 5 things. And I have made all the calculation. I can send it to you, how much it cost. If we start producing our own natural resource, Atmanirbhar Bharat, if we start producing our own electronic, not 20%, 30% is enough to fulfill this, but has to be visionary. And it's not, I'm not saying government is not doing, but the aspiration is so high. People losing the patience, they want to do it tomorrow. And for all of you, what an opportunity. India Plus. I'm in constant touch with Gina, the Commerce Secretary of US. They have told everybody that move from China. India is the place. Anything you want to set up, I've said in the land is very important. That's what she's saying all the time. Land is very important, and the bureaucracy. So this 2 things, but the land, we discussed and said all our land is called 712, and it's all digitalized. Why can't we make State Bank as a nodal? And you said, these are the 3 plots I want. This is the price I'm giving. And the moment he put in that money and he withdraw the money, the land is his. So those opportunity will come, reform will come. Amazing, amazing opportunity. 65% of people are below middle class. And aspiration is so high, the demand is going to be so high. And you people all have a great opportunity. One thing I've always said that for the youngster, one is that always have conscious to go into a mine in your mind, because 65% of the money is in the stock market. Anything you do, just see whether that will have a future value. You know, it's all of the perception. You know, some multiple are 50, some multiple are 5. Avoid 5. Go towards wherever that's a big money for all of you. Money is important. Number 2 is about 50% of the business fail, whether it's startup, whether insolvency, and those business can be revived. 3 or 4 of you can be put together. Today is the digital. You can look at those business see how we can look at and revive that business. Because anything you get at 1/10 of the price and something you can revive, you will never go wrong. And whether it's in India, we have a 15,000 industry, which is shut down and viable, which is in NCLT. All over the world, I'm sure is a millions of industry. So just keep a track. You can take a risk. You are strong, you can work hard. And there is no substitute for the hard work. No, काम करने में जो मजा आता है, किसी चीज में नहीं आता. So this is what I have from very short, I could explain.
Thank you, sir. Your vision of an Atmanirbhar resource or an Atmanirbhar resource-free Bharat is indeed something that resonates with a lot of us. But something that you mentioned while speaking was that every child in India needs to have a scooty, needs to have a laptop and a mobile phone, and that opens their window to the world, right? But all of that requires money. And you often speak about this idea of that India is moving towards a $5,000 per capita income. You quote that number. So I would like to understand, why do you think that $5,000 per capita income number is important? And how does that play in the context of manufacturing in India or Make in India?
Yeah, because as your buying power goes up, you want a washing machine, you want a scooty, you want a housing, anything you want, the demand goes up, the manufacturing goes up. That's how the employment goes up. That's how your per capita income goes up. And India to be least to be $5 trillion economy can go up to $7 trillion economy, and that's how it will 2,000 to 5,000 will go. And one thing what you said us.
Just in the context of manufacturing, how do you think that is an important, and why do you think that $5,000 number is important in general?
See, the manufacturing is going away from the developing country. You know, America, and they still need a lot of things. And India is the most important, is to have a manufacturing hub. Because we have a skill, we have a trained skill, and we can, in India, we need everything we need. You know, what you learn from UK, I'm very indebted to UK. I came here 27 years back, and let me tell you this story. I had no godfather in India. And you need a godfather, there is no club, there is no banker, I know. And I said to my wife, let's go to UK, London. I've been there once. Let's go there. I list my company and raise the money. He says, gone crazy. So she went to the school, cathedral school. My children were there to take 6 months' time that my husband has gone crazy. So give me 6 months' time, we'll come back. So I came here, trust me, Heathrow Airport at 98, August. Me, my wife, 2 children. We took Park Lane, 2 room, one for my children, one for myself, and said, let's start. And they said, let's look at, we need an office. So I said, which is the best office? They said, Barclay Square is the hub of the office. And I says, I heard the Indian rich man at that time, Alan Mittal, was doing well. His market cap was $100 billion. And I says, can we have some service office in his building? So I can quote. I always like to be, So I got a service office, 1,500 pounds, and I decided to take an office right at the end. Service office. When somebody is walking, I can tell him this hole is mine. So we started with that. With a clean-cut mind, I'm going to list my company. My wife used to cook food. She's a great cook. She used to cook in the for the meal, and I used to invite lawyers, chartered accountant, banker. They were 100% sure what is talking all rubbish, but they love the food. So they used to come the lunchtime and are talking, and I listed my company. I delisted my company, which was $40 million in India. Delist from that company, listed in London at $2 billion. And within 2 years' time, My company was FTSE 100 company, one of the best company in Europe, 100 company. And I raised in $35 billion. Money was pouring in. I know because I took over, my journey started. I took over Madras Aluminium, I took over Bharat Aluminium, I took over Sesagua, I took over Kane Energy. You name the company. I took over Kankola Copper Mine in Zambia. We built largest aluminium factory in the world, apart from China. Vedanta Aluminium in Odisha put in $10 billion there. And the journey was amazing. And all of you can do this. I'm nothing before you people. You are so presentable. I was not presentable. So I used to very scared. So I used to always hire a long person like a Jack, Englishman. And he used to go and introduce me. I can't introduce myself. So, this is what we are. Somehow they find a way. We are both. You are highly qualified. You are highly qualified. At the same time, fantastic personality. You have a plus. And that world is amazing today, and especially India. Again, I'm saying is opportunity. Only 10% women are working. Women, whoever I hired as a woman, they have gone up to CEO, and their output is much higher than the men. I'm not saying you are not good, but it is, I've experienced this. But they're different. You cannot treat them like a man. God has made them different. So you have to understand, because they have their mood, they have their own ideas. And unless they're 100, we can start work, even 30% we are convinced. They need to be convinced 80%. If they are convinced, then you see the output.
Thank you, sir. I'll ask one more question and then we'll open up to the audience. So in case you've got any questions, please be prepared with it. Sir, we've learned about the success story of Vedanta. And indeed, it's a very inspiring story of starting with humble beginnings and growing it to the size you have. But what I'd like to know is about the name of the company, Vedanta. Where does that come from? And I'd love to learn a little more about that.
No, it was an English company. Except me, everybody was English people. Look, everybody was. I had a very privilege to have this kind of board. So a board was very, very important. And I was projecting that is a professional company. You people are going to run it. I'm for you. And we have Sir Brian Gilbertson, who was a BHP chairman. You name the people. Another Indian person was, I could persuade Chidambaram at that time to be on the board, and he came in. And then they given me a lot of English name. So we are about to do that. Then somebody came. It is, I think, Mr. Parsarthi. Somebody came and he says, your mother name is Ved. So why don't you? And for me, my mother is everything. And I got this Vedanta. This is ultimate knowledge. It is not Indian. It is a fundamental, it is ultimate knowledge. It is for everybody. Vedanta does not mean secular to, it is nothing Hindu, Muslim, anything. It is a Vedanta. And I love this. People were not convinced initially, but probably because of that, I got this $35 billion. So branding is very important.
Thank you, sir. We'll open up to the audience questions, if any. Let's go on that end, please.
Hi, Mr. Agarwal. Thank you for the talk. I'm Sagar. I study population health here at Cambridge, but I'm also very interested in technology policy. So you mentioned semiconductors, and Navnidhi talked about the attractive FDI policies of the current government. I was wondering how Vedanta is going to compete with the likes of TSMC in Taiwan, or maybe South Korea, Samsung in South Korea, Intel in the US, in terms of the technology capabilities of semiconductors, and why even in 2023, we don't have a semiconductor fabrication unit in India. I saw some news reports about the Vedanta and Foxconn alliance, but I'm just wondering what took India so long to establish a semiconductor fabrication unit in this over here.
See, this semiconductor in natural way, it is not for India. It is after 10 years. It is for the America, it is for the China, where they're the big boys. India, the first time I see they're taken a bull by horn. They're fighting on the Chinese border. They're fighting. This is the, and for that, all parties are together. I heard this on the way that even some of the earlier speakers talk about the Foxconn. Though they're, so one is the technology. Their technology is developing every, we have two companies. This is also my vision. I took 10 years to acquire this company in Taiwan, in Korea, and it's a Japanese company, Avonstred, which make the glass. We started making glass for optical fiber. It's all about the glass, and it's a clean room and invention. So we are already in that business. And when this opportunity came, this semiconductor company is literally next door to us. We are taking 400 people from there. Licensing is a one which we have to keep pursuing. There are licensing available in Europe. There are a lot of good lab, but one thing for sure, one is that you are ready for 100% and then you go. One is conceptually you are ready. सिर पे कफन नहीं बांधोगे तो काम चलेगा नहीं. So when you are determined, the people are with you, the whole, everybody is with me. There is no question that we will not produce. It is going to happen. And I fully agree that we have a David Reed, who is the CEO of TSMC next door, who has joined as MD to our company, and he is fully determined. And if you go and see, the work is going in a full swing. 100 people, 100 companies are coming to create the ecosystem from Japan and Korea. And now we are going to America to make sure that the entire is a city to be developed. You know, it's not individual you are doing. It's a leader lead and create a movement. When the movement happens, then you just go. People are doing. So I have no doubt in my mind. We have created this fire to make our country as a developed country. And that one of the ingredients is a semiconductor and natural resource. We have moved, people are getting convinced, and it's not individual anybody will do. When the movement starts, the conviction happens. I don't have a specific answer for you. Foxconn has two technology. Two we have taken from the Belgium. We have a lot of headwind from America. In fact, people are literally putting us down, saying that they have a lot of debt, they're going to fail, this is the problem, this is the problem, just to make sure that Vedanta does not qualify to produce semiconductor. But I need all of your good wishes. This is how, and a lot of opportunity. Look at the website. If you like something, start your shop there too. Yeah.
Let's go over there, please. Right at the back, the lady over there, please.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much. My name is Kushbu and I read politics at Cambridge. And my question is that trust and good relations matter a lot in business. And I want to ask you for your advice on how do you go around building trust and good relations in business? And what's your advice for young people just starting out? So they have to take risks, but they also have to build trust. So how do you recommend they go about doing this? Thank you so much for coming in today.
Now, somebody was asking me, is trust and love, which is first, trust or love? I think the trust is more important than the love. Trust is more important, and it is up to you. You start trusting people from your side. You trust people. You know, I always said, power of ignorance and power of diplomacy. These two things will take you a long way. Remain always, you know that fellow, but ignore it. Ignorance, power of diplomacy. You don't have to be hard. And then you will see people will come around. And one thing for sure, if the chemistry is not there, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. It's a bloody nonsense. You have to work with the people who has energy. So as you go, your conviction, it is your conviction, it's your dream. What is the option you have? You have an option to work for somebody. Very good. Work with somebody to be very clear that he's an entrepreneur. He's the one, my leader, my boss has to be, even if you pay half the price. But your boss has to be the number one, the best. Second grade boss, and you are there, you'll never progress. It's better to have to learn from the, and it take time. And if you have some idea yourself, go for it. There is no question, tremendous opportunity today. And build a team, it is your ability. That how you take the people with us. No, you have to eat with them. This is your capability. How you treat them like your family. And that is what we have also in our Indian culture.
Please, ma'am.
Yes.
But what is it that it's going to take to make India this manufacturing hub?
Because the worldwide, the demand is very high. Anything you talk about automobile, you talk about textile, you talk about the building material, you talk about the electronic, you talk about the fashion. It is all about the manufacturing. And if the toys, anything you talk about, everything supply was from China. 80% supply was China. China, for some reason, is a very negative. I hope they come out the positive, and they're looking China +1. People are going to Vietnam, people are going to Indonesia, American companies going to other places, but the scale is not there. And there also have gone. All the leaders are Indian. All the CEOs running the Vietnamese companies and this Thai companies, all are Indian only. So for us, what we want? To eradicate our poverty and to create job. It is a fundamental. And for this, manufacturing is the most important thing.
What do you think will make it happen? What is it that India needs to do as a country to make itself into a manufacturing?
So both sides. One is India is a place of entrepreneur. I never seen the entrepreneurship, what I'm seeing today. You see the entrepreneurship is tremendous. And the government has to come out of the business. The discrimination is tremendous. The bureaucracy is tremendous. So these two things everybody is talking about. Government has no business to be in a business. They have to give this business. Don't sell this business to Anil Agarwal. I want a think tank, all of you. Why, like America, all are the private company, but not owned by individual, is owned by maybe 20%. 80% business is run by the shareholder. Shareholder have the board decide the CEO, very capable CEO, he take the company at a very different level. India has a tremendous, beautiful stock market, one of the best stock market, very low cost. And we have a HNI. If government decide not one by one day I'm not going to be in a business. And they come out of the business, each business, whether it's a shipping corporation, whether it's a ONGC, whether it's Steel Authority, whether it's a NHPC, NTPC, anything you talk about, this will go 10 times bigger because it will be owned by the shareholder, like in America. Then you have a very, not government nominated board. It will be independent board, and that will change our economy. And when you have a scale, because this fundamental is very, very, very good, then a lot of industry require ancillary unit, supplying the unit, software, even the cleaning of the offices, lot of new opportunity will come.
We have time for one last question. Perhaps someone from this side. So
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Santosh. I'm from Fuel. Sir, question about your giving pledge part of it. We just spoke like Cambridge is there, many universities across the world, Harvard, Stanford. But India में ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है कि एक world class university बने? So क्या Vedanta can be that front runner in establishing a world class university, which will be ranked in the top 10 universities in the world?
Beautiful. No, my vision is Vedanta should be for 1,000 years. And it is not run by the family. It is an institution which we are proud of. And it is something, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking, how do we take it forward? 75% of the wealth has to go back to the society. I would say 90%. And I'm looking forward. I'm not a government, but I have to take something, what I can do. So I have pledged that 80 million children, 8 crore children, age of 6, which I will make sure to their not malnutrition, be strong physically, mentally, sanskar, take care of their education. That is my, because I've read in the Vedas, it says up to 6-7 years early age, whatever you learn is a real study. After that, all is, I'm not trying to, all are cosmetic. It's all, but what the sanskar come 7-8 is remain forever. So I said, I'm going to do this. Only Ishwari karayega ye. But I'm working technology. I want all of you to join. We are hiring people from the McDonald's, from the Starbucks who have seen the scale, cookie cut, who can do that. I'm looking forward, women, 2 crore women. What a brilliant women we have. What an experience we have gone into the village. You know, how can they make 20,000-30,000 rupees themselves? And everybody is joining me. All the world-class retailers are joining, taking the stuff. So this is what I'm looking. And I'm looking India, because we are insecure, we want think about how the America has developed because of their 40 universities. 40 universities, a think tank, liberal arts, innovation. No, it's not just, so this will happen in India. This will happen in India where world-class university, I always wanted to create another Boston city in India for 2 lakh students, to have a liberal arts, you know, to innovation, to create 7, and with the exhibition center. Because I see all over the world exhibition center, we want to have exhibition center. With the, and I thought Odisha is a good place. I have acquired the land from the Puri temple to Karnak temple. And people file that, no, they will sell the land, they will do this. No, we are going through that process, you know, getting the maturity. So this is the true thing I want to do. आप लोग आपके पास आए, आप लोग भी प्रार्थना करेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ होगा. But 2 things I want to do it, to make sure our 8 crore children, no children, if our children, not only education, sanskar. What is sanskar? I run 13 schools here in London, in UK. You go to that school, each school, we call it Krishnavanti school. Each school is eye-opening. We have, don't do it in Indian center, you know, where the Indian density is there. Same syllabus. Queen came 5 years back, 7 years back. She was surprised. Nobody's obese. What we do, value. Respect your parents, respect your community, respect your neighbor, have a highest regard for your country. So these value system, and we have a Gayatri month, Om Bhurva Swa, everybody. So we have now 30% local English people. And there's so much of pressure. You have to take my children. So this is something which I'm looking forward. And but thank you very much. I wish all of you very, very best. You have to. One thing all of you must promise, you will never give up. Never, ever give up. That is one thing I have to, and always think big. Never think small, but somebody else can do it, but why can't I? You have a whole life before you. If we think because we have a less time, but you have all the time to take risk. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with a young bunch over here. I think we've seen a lot today. It's not every day that we see a minister who holds 8 portfolios in a government have a dialogue with a man of Mr. Agarwal's stature. So thank you for your time. We're indeed honored to have you. And with that, I'll hand over to Dr. Jaideep Prabhu.